That sweet potato-free material is just multiplied in the greenhouse and is brought here in the field. What we do here in the field, we multiply it, and the material that is harvested and stored in the storage house, and then is passed to the farmers. Then the farmers can be sure when they use our material to grow a virus-free material and to produce sweet potatoes that don't have viruses. Viruses are bad disease because what they do, year after year, they keep mutating. You can control one type of virus, but a year later, you have several others that just pop up. So if you grow material that are not virus-free, you can expect to have at least a 20 or 30% decrease in yield.
My name is Manaharan Muthusamy. I am the interim assistant dean for 1890 programs. Now I'm going to talk about our niche program. That's a sweet potato foundation program. This program is very important for our farmers, our minority farmers. The goal of this program is to produce virus-free sweet potatoes. Viruses are the big factor in limiting production. So we want to produce virus-free slips. The slips we can give to farmers so the farmers can plant them in the field. The main problem here is, the accumulation of viruses in the tubers. So usually the farmers save the tubers for season to season. But here, the virus also accumulates over the period of time, resulting in huge loss to the farmers. But with this virus-free slips, they can plant, the new crop, and the yield will not reduce due to viruses.
This is Muhammad Jalaluddin. You see, I'm standing by a not so good looking pepper plots, but breeding work is like that. I have 23 lines or varieties, and I am selecting from there to use them, the selected ones, the best ones, in my breeding program. My intention is to develop a pepper varieties or a few pepper varieties which will have high productivity, disease resistance, and high nutritional qualities. So nutritional qualities I emphasize. Originally I was a rice breeder, but I have seen in many countries in the world, and majority people, when they do not have enough food, they eat rice and bite a hot pepper. That's their spices and vegetables and everything. So that's the origin of my interest in doing this pepper research. I have selected and collected around the world about 130 different types of peppers, and I end up with this few, only probably 23 or so. But I'm hoping that in next few years I will be able to select my breeding genotypes that I will be using in breeding new varieties. The varieties will be highly productive and highly nutritional. At the same time, there will be some ornamental characteristics. That's the objective of my research.
My name is Young Park, Associate Professor in the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. And I'm an entomologist, and I'm the apiculturist, means the beekeeping. And actually, I'm going to introduce you my research field, and I'm doing the honeybee research, and especially the pollinating, and to try to help the community, and whenever they need the honeybee hives, and then we have the willing to share those honeybee hives to improve the yields and their products. And also we have the black and gold and the bee clubs in the university levels. So anyone, it doesn't matter about your major, and everybody is welcome as a club. And we just train how to do the beekeeping, and when they graduate, they able to do the beekeeping as a hobby or a kind of a professional way. So that is what I'm doing here. And also the backyard, and we have the beehives in general. The one beehives have like 60,000 bees, individuals. Okay, it's someone say they're like 5,000 or 10,000, but actually 60,000, and they are all technically all females. And they are we call the generalist. And because they are living in the all year round in Arkansas area, and we have a specialist we call the bee as the native bees, and both are the good pollinators to improve our yields, and so we have to taking care of them to improve our ecosystem healthy. Thank you.
All right, I'm Joe Ivy with the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, and my responsibility here is the high tunnels where I produce vegetables. The reason why we have the high tunnel is to extend the season, producing crops. You can also for earliness, you can get started early in the winter time. You're able to start your green crop, and also early spring you can start your warm season crops. What we're trying to do is encourage the farmers to put some houses out on their farm in order that they may be able to get to the market early in order to get the best price for their produce. Another thing we're trying to do is get the youth involved in interested in producing produce as well. And the way to do that, we're trying to start out with the 4-H groups and clubs. The University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff now has its own 4-H program, and we're trying to encourage young people to have an interest in producing produce so they'll know where their food come from. Also, like, you know where the milk came from. It didn't come from the supermarket, but it came from the cow. And that's what we're trying to teach here. And you can make a pretty good amount of financial funds by producing in the hoop house. And what you have here, we have produced about a ton of produce here during the fall of the year, during the winter of the year. And in the spring of the year, we produced a half a ton in this tunnel.
I am ASMH Shorkar. I am here greenhouse manager, and also I enrolling the graduate program in plant science department in UAPB. So this is my thesis experiment. Actually, title is Phytochemical Composition of Vegetables, Herb and Medicinal Plants. We know herb, vegetables and medicinal plants are used as a food for medicinal qualities, and also they are rich sources of medicinal activities, are used for curing of human various diseases. And we know this is the available of phytochemical composition in herb, vegetables and medicinal plants. These are two categories. One is the primary and second is secondary. Primary is the amino acid, protein, sugar and chlorophyll. Secondary is terpenoid and alkaloid. So those elements are available in the vegetables, herb, and medicinal plants. So this is my main objectives too. Number one, we are looking this kind of element, this out of most performance from this crop and yield what is the most performance in this from this crop. So here is I used 10 different crops. Each crop is 3 varieties. I have a 3 replication, and each plant variety I planted 5 plant. I collected data from 3 plant, and finally I need to average data. Then I will do writing for my thesis.
First of all, my name is Sean Francis. I'm the horticulture extension specialist here. This is just a demonstration of different technologies that can be used in the hoop house. We've tried to utilize a flat bed arrangement, then a raised bed with black plastic, and the raised bed with straw. So the black plastic and the straw is ideally set up to help control weeds, and the flat bed, it was without any control. That was just with no plastic, no mulch. Basically what we found was that the raised bed with mulch gave us a better plant growth, and the raised bed with the black plastic, we had issues with too much heat being generated under the plastic and burning off some of the plants. We're now in the middle of harvesting and collecting data on the yield. So that's something that at the end of the season or the end of the cycle in here, we'll compile those figures and be able to present to our farmers, what's the best method of producing particularly squash in these hoop houses.
So what I want to show you is this lab is, as you see, value-added product lab, meaning you add value to fruits and vegetables because raw fruits and vegetables, they don't last long. So if you process them a little bit, like we did here, it'll last longer, and also you can make some more profit out of it. Some examples are here. Well, mostly I use research crops other faculty grow in our research field. So for example, red pepper and sweet potato, apples, blackberry, whatever, southern peas. So whenever they harvest them, I always ask them to bring them over here so that we can make some product out of their crops. Well, another example is one of the farmer brought okra, and he and I worked with a dehydrated okra, and I made this one sweet and spicy back in 2013. So you don't want to try these because this is for display. Whenever we have a tour, people just keep opening and eat them. But these are old because whenever they come, they grab them when they leave. So these are all only display. So you don't want to eat them. But make sure you grab sweet potato chips when you leave. These are freshly made, so you can eat them. And these sweet potato chips, we have 2 different flavor. One is sweet potato chips spicy, and then sea salt flavor. Okay, so you can try both. If you don't like spicy, and you can just try sea salt. All right, so what we do here, utilizing these some processing equipments. So when they bring, say, red peppers, and we process them in this behind the curtain, and so we process them, and we can them or bottle them or grind them, dehydrate them, so that kind of things we do. And so these are some products. You see here, there are different hot pepper, the color. So we made hot pepper sauce, like green hot pepper sauce, red, and this yellow color and peach color hot peppers, and yeah, we use sweet potato flour. What we did was we chopped them into small pieces, and then we dehydrate them, and then we grind them in a food meal to make sweet potato flours. These wines, apple wine, muscadine wine, blackberry wine. I don't have a sweet potato wine right now, but we try to do more sweet potato wine soon. So I'm trying to work on sweet potato product. So when we have an event like this, 2 years back, we did a lot of sweet potato fries. And we did some special thing on it to make it crispier. So we just coat them with some kind of batter. It's a commercial batter to make them really crispy after deep fry them.
We are doing here research on straight head of rice, and it's a very devastating non-fungal disease. It's called a physiological disorder, and its typical symptom is parrot beak symptom, which is like this. You will get each and every panicle filled up with these things, and it will not bear any grain. That's why it will be straight up. It will not lean down like the normal rice, and this can cause more than 90% loss due to if a variety is sensitive to straight head. And its symptoms are similar to arsenic injury to rice plant. And here we are doing to mitigate the effect of straight head of rice, and we are using calcium to decrease the straight head, and analyzing the temperature effect on straight head as well. And we thought that if we apply calcium, it's gonna manage the pH and acidic ions of arsenic, and improve to gain in the yield. And on temperature, I want to say that we found that in last year temperature was low, then there was no straight head, but now temperature is high, and in high temperature the straight head is more. So we got that hypothesis that if temperature increases and straight head increases. So we are working on that temperature effect also here. Thank you.